Hello everyone, it is the part 2 of the series you've been enjoying so far. I love the comments and the thumbs up and the support from the last video, so thank you if you've enjoyed it so far. But today we are covering archers again, all the things you're going to need to know from the start to the finish with your archer lineups and talent choices when it comes to it. So stay tuned for all this information and more with me, MrSneakyy. Hello, so yes, we're going to go over everything you want to know about archers. So smash a like, comment, and subscribe for more daily Call of Dragons content with me, an official Call of Dragons content creator, giving you all the juicy tips and information from a free-to-play player, low spend, and even a whale's perspective from some video guides in the arsenal. So we're going to be going over archers today. This is one which I am honestly passionate about. This is probably the unit I've used the most now, and the one I am almost going to try and become the pioneer of. I want to be the #1 known archer player when it comes to the game. So let's talk about archers in their full glory and why they are so strong. So obviously when you start as a archer player, you are a Spring Wardens player. You get access to your Guan, which is an amazing start when it comes to archers, because she is again this most powerful single target epic commander when it comes to raiding. She does so much single target DPS, it's obscene, and you're going to be using Guan honestly for such a long time when it comes to the open field combat and PvE. So when you start the game, obviously we're going to be working on our heroes. One combo you're going to get really early on is honestly a Guan and Craig combo. This is going to be one combo you're going to get as soon as you start. The reason is you get Spring Wardens, you get Guan, and the Road to Glory event starts over 7 days where you can unlock Craig and get heads for Craig, which allowed you to actually get him to 5-1-1-1-1 really easily in the early game. So you can have a really fast, strong starting lineup with 2 commanders easily getting 5-1-1-1 in the early game. So this is where you want to be picking it, right? So when you're a free-to-play player, what you have is a couple of options. We do get Nico, we do get Kinnara. So when you're looking in the very early game, you're going to want to try and unlock both of them, right? But the thing is, for the free-to-play player's best choice will be a Nico. Why? Nico is going to give you access to a bunch of new content due to the damage output he puts out. A 5-1-1 Nico that you can unlock through your gold keys is obscene. The fact that you can invest obviously your heads into him is really good as well, but it's a really good option in the early game that you're going to be using until the Kinnara wheel comes, right? So when you got the Kinnara wheel, this is where I would call it the start to be a low spend choice. And this is where the archers start to differ. So if you want a archer dedicated to raiding, I would honestly keep my marksman Nico set up on the talent build to be a raiding hero. Why? Because he does insane DPS, and again, if you really wanted to and you had both the ability to, you could do a combo like this, right? But your Kinnara will be used as the primary commander for your PvP match. So it's going to be a very good thing for you because you're going to have now access as a starter pair to be able to now play the following pairs. So in the mid game, when you are looking for some archer pairings, what you do is you use Guan and Craig for the longest time until you get both your Nico and your Kinnara to 5-1-1. And when you do that, you enable yourself the ability to go into different fighting. So if we relabel the low spender to your PvP match, and then we relabel the free-to-play one to the PvE match, this is now showcasing what your different builds will be tailored to, right? And the beautiful thing is, if you really wanted to, Guan being your starter would have been built through the precision tree, meaning You could also make her your primary commander and make your Nico build a marksman build for PvP, which uses the marksman and precision tree. And then your Kinnara could use the PvP and control tree. So it gives you two different PvP builds that you can run now and the flexibility to go around as these marches. We also have, not in the do not use area, but as a honourable mention here, we do have one march, and that is when you are a Wilderberg player. If you have the ability to late game, when you've got maybe tier 4 unlocked and you've got a bunch of tier 4 trained up already, and you've got a nice amount of archers also built up, you're going to be able to transition from a Spring Warden into a Wilderberg player. And this honestly change is massive. Why? It gives your archers the ability to increase all damage dealt to the target, which is an insane buff to put on to a target. Your Wyvern Riders increase the amount of skill damage and HP that they gain, which is even more insane when it comes to an archer player. Also, just as a little tip and a heads up for those mage players that might have watched the first video, if you play as a Wilderberg player as well, your mages increase the magic attack of other mages. So even though you're not the strongest mage march and you're not trying to, you're gonna buff all the nearby mages with a massive 20% attack buff, or I think it's 10% attack buff for those surrounding legions. So it's a really good, even mage supportive civilization that uses the archers as its primary focus. So with that, you have your honourable mention of Fear Craig. Fear Craig with those Wyvern Riders is an obscene amount of damage in the game. This is one of the most underrated builds in the game right now. You can build this in different ways too. If you have a Fear primary before your Craig, it means you're going to allow your Craig to hit harder first. So then it's going to obviously mean more damage over a long period of time. And then obviously your Fear is going to allow you to keep the Craig alive. But you can also switch it around and have the Craig ahead. And if you go Craig first, it allows you to have a rage generation build. But more importantly, it allows you to abuse some mobility talents that allows you to get in and out of combat and actually farm kill with those flying units. So it's a really powerful march that you can run as a honourable mention for you players. So in all of the glory, we're going to restore it back to everyone's health. So I hope you start to understand. We're going to start with that Gwanwyn and Craig. And Craig, you want to level up as a 5-1-1-1 hero. And then you'll go 5-5-1-1. And then you'll go 5-5-5-1. And the reason is the first three skills are the most important skills on the Craig. So you can ignore the fourth skill and keep him, to be honest, at 3 stars. And he's going to do the job perfectly fine. So you can keep doing that. And once you've unlocked your Nico and Kinnara at a 5-1-1-1 state, that's when you're going to be able to switch them up and start bringing these guys into the PvP and PvE realms. Remember, you can also use Gwanwyn with Kinnara for a PvP match. It's really good. But I would always recommend using Craig, not in raids, but in PvP. He's one of the best archers in PvP because of the AoE effects he does get eventually when you awaken him, right? And he buffs hero skill damage and a bunch of physical attack as well. So it's really good match made in heaven. So these are going to be the pairings that you work towards. And then we have the number 1 and number 2 pairings, that's going to be on screen now. So the number 2 pairing is a Nico and Gwanwyn pairing. This is the second strongest march that you can run without spending any money, and we're going to talk about that just at the end of all the pairings. But a Nico Gwanwyn is insane. It does just an obscene amount of damage. You look at a target, you look at any behemoth in the game, you're going to be top 10 damage. Honestly, if you're rocking this build with a 5-1-1-1 Nico and a Gwanwyn, This in a precision tree build with Guanwin is going to do an insane amount of damage. And then with a marksman build, you're going to get an insane amount of damage for that Nico for PvP. So it's a really good fact that you have an early game choice here for your marksman. And the beautiful thing that we're going to touch on later is the Season 2 hints that we're going to get 2 new archers. So it's even more beneficial for you to have this lineup ready, because then you're going to have even more access to more commanders soon. So with this number 1 pairing is gonna be the Kinnara and honestly Nico combo. Once you get this combo, even with a Kinnara at 5-5-1-1 and then a 5-1-5-1 Nico, or even a 5-1-1-5 Nico, you're gonna have a insanely powerful PvP march with such a low investment that even when you start to invest into it in the long run and these guys become awakened, this combo is the number 1 archer combo so far that we can see in the game because of how both awakenings work. The reason why it's number 1, the Kinnara primary will allow her awakening skill to obviously hit that 80% damage reduction buff while maintaining the PvP and control tree, and then after it's going to allow the Nico's awakened skill, seeing that the target's already defense break, is going to be able to deal 200 to 400 damage each hit for the next 5 seconds, right? So it's an insane amount of damage you're going to apply for the number 1 pairing. So I hope that makes it all understandable for you guys with all the pairs you can have. We also have Eliana and Hosk now to talk about, which is in the archers. And the reason why these guys are here are quite simple, right? So if we take out the fear out of the honourable mentions now, what we're going to do is talk about a couple of marches that you can use. If you're a low spender and you're looking for something, you can obviously look at using a Hosk. A Hosk at 5-1-1-1-1 with a Guanwin does do more raid damage than a Guanwin and a Craig, which is really good. So if you need to, you could use this combo. And even if you had a Hosk at 5-1-1-1 before the Nico unlock, you can use the Hosk then, right? So it's a nice little filler if you haven't got it somehow. But another one is Eliana. If we look at Eliana, Eliana is going to be able to be paired up with any of these commanders on screen and be able to use with archers as a rallying combo or obviously a peacekeeping combo. The beautiful thing with Eliana is her overall stat. The fact that she can pair with any march and have any range, and she's going to be able to make that march super tanky by getting 30% normal attack damage reduction and 30% increase in defense when you cast your rage skills. This match, or this hero, is a really good filler for you. So I hope that is all of the information you're going to need for your beginning Season 1 Archer pairings at the moment. Obviously, we're looking for the next Season 2 heroes that are going to come. And that's what we're going to talk about next when we go into the hero talent pages. So if you've enjoyed the video so far, smash a like, comment, and subscribe, guys, like always. And with all that said, let's move on to talents and the Season 2 teasers to do with archers, because it's very important for us to talk about that when it comes into the pairings. So here we are, and when we're looking at pairings now of the talent choices, you've got to remember, guys, you want each hero to have a role. Remember that. So my Guanwin currently does have the full precision damage build. She's almost maxed out. She's going to have 2 points here, and we're going to finish out with the next couple of points in suppression. And then we're going to do as much damage as possible, right? So that is our build for our Guanwin. She is specialized in killing behemoths. So anytime I'm going to go to a raid, she's my primary hero. So then I will stack in the early game my Craig behind her. And as you can see, this is my Craig currently, and you just use him until you find someone new. Eventually, you get the Nico, like we said, and when you get the Nico at 5-1-1-1, this will be now your deputy in raids behind that Guanwin, which is really good. But when we look at my Nico's talents, you're going to see here, we have the marksman tree. So we're going down the marksman tree. We're going to gain this rage, the counter-attack damage, and finish off with burst shot. And then we'll come down the precision tree and get the, again, attack, normal attack, counter-attack, and a bit of damage. Or the whirlwind. It's up to you. Both of these are really good depending on what you want to do. Bit of a preference in my opinion. But you're going to obviously have this build, which is tailored, guys, for PvP. So whenever I'm going into a PvP situation, he's going to be my primary commander. My Craig, when you look, is built very, very similar. But instead of the precision tree, we get the mobility tree, which we're going to be going down. We're going to get the counterattack damage still, but we get the choice of whenever we leave in buildings resources, we gain a massive amount of haste and march speed, which is really powerful. Or whenever we enter battle for the first so many seconds, we're going to get a massive amount of attack to try and kill things really quickly and get out. So again, you can see we have an option here with the mobility build to have a little bit of a distinction. You know, it's a little bit of a difference between the Nico build. So you can see maybe I need Craig primary for a certain scenario. So I hope that makes sense to you guys with the talents. At the moment, obviously, these are the only heroes we've got on the free-to-play player account. Obviously, if you have the Kinnara is going to be built up on a 5111, and you're going to go down, like I said, the PvP tree and the control tree. So it gives you another tree that you can set up as a primary commander, because if your archers are getting constantly targeted, you're definitely going to be wanting Soul Siphon to abuse the amount of targeting you're getting and generate as much rage, right? So I hope that makes sense for you guys with what talents you want to pick on what heroes. Just remember, you can't really go wrong as long as each hero has a different talent choice or talent build to the next, right? You want 3 different builds on each of the 3 different heroes, which is really nice, because then you can split between what you want each hero to do. So with all that said, guys, that's all the talents covered, all the pairs covered, and we're going to just touch on now Season 2. Because obviously we can't see them yet, but we do have 2 new heroes coming into the game. We did touch on them briefly when we covered the patch notes. If you haven't checked that video out, you can go and check it out. With the patch notes, it does tell you in here, when we go to the system, it does show you the 2 new archers, and this is what's going to be really important, because we get 2 new archers in Season 2 on Song of Summer, and they're going to have the Archer, Peacekeeper, and Mobility tree again. So they're going to have the same tree as your Craig, but this guy is going to have the Marksman, Rally, and Precision tree. So this might be your Rally leader if you're looking to spend in the future. So again, maybe save those heads, your universal heads, for these commanders, because they are coming soon, and you might be able to unlock them really easily and obviously abuse them in the game. So that is what I would suggest for you guys when it's coming to the new commanders. At the moment, if you're an archer looking at what to invest into, maybe hold out, save out on your universals. Just maybe use daily spenders. If you're a daily spender, you know, you can use these daily bundles here to get your Kinnara up, and then obviously level her up and get her done, and then saving those universals for the 2 new commanders in the future. So I hope that guide, guys, on the second part of the pairing series is concluded and up to your satisfaction. You know, I've enjoyed it so far. This is going to give you guys a nice insight to each troop type. And if you're wondering where the major one is, we've already done majors, guys. Go back and check out episode 1. That's going to be covering everything in the mage side, exactly the same here with the archers. But the next episode, in number 3 of the series of 4, will be cavalry. It's going to be a lot shorter, unfortunately, because obviously there's not that many cavalry heroes in the game at the moment. But again, we know some more are coming. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, smash a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It is me, MrSneakyy, again, giving you that Call of Dragons official content every single day. And we're trying to start live streaming as soon as possible as well on the daily. So I hope you tune in and say hello if you've been enjoying the content. But until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.